This morning, I got a chance to catch up with trainer Ashay Doctor and, of course, our paddock expert Albert Khare to get their views on the Wolf 777 Calcutta 2000 Guineas 2022. Let me start off with trainer Ashay. Ashay, good morning. How is the weather doing for you?
Today the weather has been pretty decent compared to the last 2 days. So of course the weather is treating us all well right now. We hope that it gets better soon.
So we move on to the first runner. Albert, what is your view on Hellblazer running the 2000 Guineas?
Well, Melissa, these horses don't get many chances to run in the classics. So I think even though Hellblazer lacks class because it has not really done anything much in the big races that it has run, but then definitely the owners want to give it a chance because unless you try, you can't succeed. And we have seen some strange results in the Football World Cup. If that happens in racing, Hellblazer, you never know. But then on known form and class, I don't think Hellblazer matches up to this field. But then you got to give the horse its chance.
Ashay, now we have a horse that has done nothing wrong. Came here to Patrick and has done the best that it could always be doing for all the races, and now coming into the 2000 Guineas, what do you make of Imperial Power? I don't think there's anything beating Imperial Power. Would you agree?
Honestly, Melissa, I think since the horse has come, he's had 2 final entries and he's succeeded in both. He's won both his races, even if the Derby being a dead heat, and he's been tracking exceptionally well, and I think he's the horse that everyone has to beat. So he's justified to be there right now.
Now we move on to Kalamitsi. That is a very tongue-twisting name, I would say. So Albert, I'm going to give you the tongue twister. Tell me, how do you think makes of Kalamitsi doing in the 2000 Guineas?
Melissa, Kalamitsi runs here based on its breeding because it is bred very fashionably. It has traveled to Western India. It is a Bangalore-based horse. It's trained by Suleiman Ataulai. But I have got a chance to see Kalamisti's last track work. I'm not that impressed, but I think still they want to give it a chance. Perhaps Kalamisti will be a horse for a later part of the season. Perhaps it will come in its own in the Derby. We don't know. But then Kalamisti on breeding, it definitely comes in. But on known form, I don't see Kalamisti figuring in the finish.
Then we have Leonardo, another very talked about horse for the 2000 Guineas. This is one of the horses that people are seeing as a contender. So I'm going to throw it to you. Do you think it's Leonardo or Monteverdi that people have to really look out for?
Honestly, it's Leonardo. What he has done before he had his issues in Bangalore was pretty commendable. At least the Cold Style Stakes runs was pretty commendable. And his last race in Calcutta, I thought he found it a bit too short, and this would be an ideal trip. And he should be one of the horses that can challenge Imperial Power, if not beat him.
So I would take it as you are placing Leonardo and Imperial Power in the top 2 with the finishing.
Yeah, I think that's how the finish should be. Very difficult to predict these races. A lot stands on the pace of the race as well, and it also depends on how each horse settles. So according to me, Leonardo settles well, and we definitely have one of the best jockeys in the country riding him. So I think he should be challenging Imperial Power according to me.
Now, Albert, according to you, do you think there are going to be more offsides on this game, or do you think we're going to stick with Imperial Power and Leonardo?
Well, Melissa, before we get there, we have 2 more runners which we didn't really elaborate on, Monteverdi and Travailius. Both are runners which Travailius was bred by the same owners, and the dam of Travailius was owned by the same owners. It perhaps would maybe try a start to finish or something like that, because this race, while we know Imperial Power likes to run with the pace, as Ashay was speaking about the pace angle and how they settle the horse, but I think the horse which might make the pace here would be one will be Travailius, the other one will be Monteverdi. So these are your 2 pace horses, and then chasing that pace into the race will be Imperial Power, and the one which will perhaps play the last card will be your horse Leonardo, which we saw Leonardo running over the sprint 1200 meters. I called that race. I remember Leonardo was in a pocket and had, it was all dressed up but nowhere to go, and then Suraj pulled it out and it provided that acceleration, that burst of speed, and it just got it in a heads up, heads down finish. So a juvenile coming out and winning in that fashion, it shows that that horse has a heart. So heart takes you a long way. So I think while Imperial Power is definitely the frontline contender, everybody has to beat it. As Ashay said, I think the horse which can do it will beat Leonardo. So it's definitely between these two.
So like Albert said, Leonardo dressed up last race but had nowhere to go. But now even Christmas is around the corner and the Wolf 77 2000 Guineas. So if he has nowhere to go, you know where to be. The Calcutta races on the 3rd of December. Thank you.